So, again, thank you for being here today. You are part of a very important process to me, which is the workshop process. I have a specific goal for myself, personally, creatively, and also with my production company that I'm working on, that I challenge myself to produce 4 shows a year, like in a season. And so I'm finishing up my 2nd season, like pretty much since I started here in Orlando. And I'm a little behind. I was telling Liz, usually my last show of the season is like in May. And so I'm a little behind. This is my last show, and then I'll start my new show in October. But, and that's not about like, oh, look at what I'm doing. It's just, like I said, this process, the workshop process is really important to me. And I believe in creatively exercising your muscles, you know, and I'm interested in a lot of different projects. I've worked on dance projects with Miss Laurel. You know, there's a lot of things I'm into, but script writing is one of those things, and obviously performing as well. And the idea for this play, it's kind of based on a couple ideas that I've had for a while. And you know, when I was thinking about my 4th show this season to challenge myself to work on, I was like, oh, okay, I see how this could work. And I was like, I don't know what this is gonna look like. I don't know really what this story is. But I'm just gonna like take that step of faith and take that risk of just starting to write it. And I typically write like from beginning to end. And again, I didn't know how long this thing was gonna be. And I've written some like full-length plays, I've written 1 acts, you know, and this little play just ended up being 17 pages. You know, for some of you know that I'm a believer, my faith is really important to me, and I felt like God really worked some things in me in writing this thing. And I was just telling Liz before you guys got here, I was like, I don't know if like I ever will use this thing again, or, you know, because again, this is just the first step. Like, this would be the workshop where we're just doing a stage reading. There's not a lot of blocking or props going on. You know, we're just seeing how the words come off the page. So like next year I could mount this in like a full production, or I don't know, maybe shoot it as like a film piece. You know, like there's lots of ways you can go, but this is really like a first step to just see what happens, you know. And so I was telling Liz, I was like, even if nothing else happens after this, like I'm so glad that I wrote this, and I felt like I was really ministered to in different ways in writing this. So thank you for being a part of that. Like, thank you for, like, it really, it's not just like, I need to get some bodies in here. It's really like, no, like, you are an important part of that ingredient of being an audience and just receiving this. You know, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, we need you to laugh and we need you to make sounds. You know, like, do whatever you want to do. Like, if you just want to sit there in silence the whole time, please do that if that's what you want to do. There's no requirement upon you. But I just want to express my gratitude. Like, it's really important that you are here. It means a lot to me. Okay, so I think, was there anything else I wanted to say? This is also the first time I'm using the Melrose Center. So I've already made some discoveries in using this space. It's a great space for something like this. And earlier, I'm glad that it is subsided now, but there was like an improv troupe rehearsing on the stage, and they were like, whoa, 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 like making all these sounds. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be great background music for my stage reading. So yeah, I'm glad that we have a little bit more calmer environment, but this is not a soundproof room. I've already won the library. I was like, we might get loud. And they're like, that's totally fine. That's what this space is all about. Which also means that we could hear crazy stuff out there. So anyway, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm gonna have a little gift bag for you when you leave. I have the room until 5:30. So we are good. It's only half an hour. Does anyone have any questions before we start? No? Okay. All right. You guys ready? Okay. Let's take a collective breath. I just did a lot of talking, and I'm about to do a lot more. Yes.
Okay, if we like record and take pictures a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. I will be recording this, yeah, if you want a recording, but, yeah, feel free to do whatever you want. I'm glad you brought that up. It probably is a good idea to have everything on silent if you can.
Yep.
But yeah, feel free to take pictures and roll it away. Now, I haven't really introduced the cast. Let's do that. This is DeMarco. She is our staged reader today. This is a play of 2 cast members, and we have Keohane. I'm saying your last name right?
Depends on where you are.
How do you say your last name?
I say Keohane.
Keohane. Okay. I'm glad I officially know now.
But however you say it, we'll respond.
Okay. Keohane is playing the Piemaker today, and then I will be playing the role of David. Okay, I think we're ready. Are we ready recording? Awesome.
The Piemaker by Ryan Page. A cacophony of sounds is heard. Painful groaning, whimpers, sirens, hospital beeping, shouting, yelling, pleading, and crying. David enters. He is beside himself, broken.
How dare you? How dare you!
Sounds of humming, cooking utensils, a stone fireplace hearth crackling are heard. A cheery, checkered cloth table rolls into view, pushed by a chipper baker.
All right, if you'll just watch your head there, my good man. And here's a chair for you.
David, baffled and awestruck, obediently follows instructions as he stares at the Piemaker and the furnishings being set before him.
Now have I got a treat for you. It's a new recipe, but I've got the perfect ingredient, and you are gonna love it.
I don't do gluten.
Yes, you do. You do all the gluten.
What?
You don't have celiac or any other gluten autoimmune diseases.
I know that. How do you know that?
I wouldn't give your body anything it wasn't made to handle.
What are you trying to give me? And why? And where did you come from? And who are you? And what is happening right now? And why am I asking so many questions?
First, try my pie.
Why?
Why? Why? Why try? Why try my pie? Try my pie, guy.
David lets out a frustrated exhale.
Sigh. Pie.
Bye.
Listen, I'll take the first bite, and you'll see if it's safe. Because after all, it's made with love.
Oh. I don't know who you are or where you popped out from on the street here, but this is not a good time. This is really not a good time. Excuse me.
So it's not a good time. Pie is perfect for bad times. And this is ride or die pie here. And it's free.
What's the catch?
Can't you see you're stalling?
Fine. I'll try your pie. You random stranger pie man. Wow, that's beautiful.
Best around.
Around here? You got a shop near here?
Yeah, I keep my pie stand real close.
So, what's in this pie? It's not a flavor I recognize. It's got a tingling to it.
Ashes.
What? Ashes?
The pie is called Ash You Like It. It's a Shakespeare pie. Layers of finely sliced barred-let pears, sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, baked in a buttery, flaky crust, and topped with a light dusting of ashes. Ash you like it?
Me not like it. You can't eat ashes. There's carcinogens and cancer-feeding...
I am the pie maker. Each and every one of my pie creations have been carefully crafted and perfectly suited to my customers. And peace, these ashes are non-toxic.
Well, what kind of ashes are they? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I had your pie, and now I'm going to go. Thank you for interrupting my day. Good day, and goodbye.
David gets up and hustles away. Piemaker calls out as he rolls the table and chair away.
Stay a while next time.
David turns and watches Piemaker roll everything away and exit. After shaking off the recent exchange, he recalls his current dilemma. He dials his phone.
Hey, Tracy. Yeah, all's well. Everything's fine. Listen, I think I'll take that contract in Spokane. Yeah, I think it'll be good for me to get out of town for a while, experience the beauty of nature and all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally sure. Okay, bye.
David exits. Sounds of birds and wind through the trees begin to float in. An eagle cry. David enters wearing a backpack. He is enjoying the sights and sound of the nature around him. He sniffs the flower he is carrying. He examines it. A moment. He begins to cry. Sounds of humming are heard. The Piemaker rolls on his rustic, charming table, which displays a sparkling blonde pie and a glass-domed pie pedestal.
Hiya, stranger!
What are you doing here?
You need some pie, don't you?
Actually, no. I don't need pie. I don't think anyone needs a pie. And what are you doing out here? This is the middle of nowhere. There's no way you can be selling your baked goods out in the middle of Washington State parks. How did you get here with all your stuff? Where's your vehicle? Are you following me?
You do ask a lot of questions.
And you don't seem to answer any.
Well, why waste my time on unimportant information when you can enjoy the goodness that is pie?
What? You've really got a thing for pie.
It's my passion.
Obsession?
Devotion.
Ah.
I've got the perfect pie to soak up those tears. Have a seat.
What? What tears?
The ones you were squeezing out just a few moments ago.
I wasn't crying. I don't cry.
Like you don't do gluten.
If I was crying, it was probably just allergies. I was just smelling this flower.
Ah, colt's foot. Did you know they're edible? Yeah. They've been used as healing medicines for hundreds and hundreds of years. Here, have a seat and I'll tell you about it.
No! This is crazy. You're crazy. What are you doing out here? Are you following me? I came out here to be away from every other living soul, and lo and behold, you're popping out of the nearest tree. I thought you had your shop back in Des Moines. What gives, man?
I care about my customers.
I'm not a customer. I've never purchased anything from you.
I perform a service. I serve pie to my people. You are in need of pie, and so here I am.
I am too tired to argue.
You are tired. Tuck into this salted honey pie, and it'll pluck you right up.
A salted honey pie?
Who assaulted her?
What?
Joe, it's only pie-larious. Anyway, my salted honey pie is tailor-made for your taste buds this season. Creamy custard, honey filling, nestled in a butter graham crumble crust and misted with a thin salt glaze. What?
The joke. I just got it. It's so stupid.
Oh, it's hilarious!
A salted honey pie. Who's honey pie?
Oh, well, she's quite the dish, that honey pie. And by the looks of it, you're the one assaulting her with stabbing her repeatedly with that fork.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Laughter ebbs and flows between David and the pie maker. As David gathers himself, the pie maker cleans up and neatens David's table.
Okay. I haven't laughed like that in a really long time. Wow. I don't remember the last time I laughed.
Must have needed it.
Yeah.
A joyful heart is good medicine.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I never did finish telling you about the colt's foot. For centuries, it was used to treat asthma, bronchitis and emphysema as a cough suppressant. It's also known to treat skin diseases, blemishes, burns, ulcers, wounds, and diarrhea.
How sweet. I love it.
Now, colt's foot was so widely and highly held in regard as a medicinal plant in 18th century France that French apothecary shops would advertise their services by using a picture of the plant's flower as a painted symbol over the shop's doors.
Well, good to know where I can get relief if your pie gives me a skin rash and a ulcer. No, really, thank you again for showing up out of nowhere and providing me with your little pie oasis. And I'm going to stop expecting answers as to why you keep doing so. It only seems pointless at this point. And since you don't seem to be poisoning me with pies, I think we're good.
I'm glad we're good.
Yeah. We're good.
I'm glad, David.
I should get going.
Why the rush?
No rush, just here for a purpose, I guess.
What's that?
I'm trying to get my mind off some things.
Was it working?
It was, until it wasn't. A salting honey pie here helped too.
Well, I am glad. Anything else I can help you with?
Huh, I don't think so.
Okay.
But thanks.
Well,
I'm not gonna make it.
Like what?
I'm not going to survive. I'm hurtling. I know what hurtling means, but I feel like it's such an appropriate word based on how it sounds. Something that's hurt being flung off. Hurt, fling, hurtling. That's me. Hurtling. Hurtling through time and space until I crash into a hard, stationary surface, splat, game over.
Descriptive. And affecting.
It's a great mystery to me. How all your life you're coached and prepped and groomed to expect the best from life. the affirmations your parents tell you, mom and dad's life example, the bedtime fairy tales, Hollywood movies. Nothing coaches you to expect the worst. No time for that. See, so when that happens, when the worst finally hits and your story ends, the shock of it really knocks the air out of your chest. And I'm not talking about some half full, half empty glass stuff, or only taking out the it's not about focusing on the good instead of the bad. It's when the bad takes all of the good away, completely banishes it, and ends the story in one big great defeat. That's what I should have been prepped for. That's the bedtime story someone should have read me. See, then I could handle all this better.
Well, you seem to be handling it well. Whatever it is you're handling, however you're hurtling.
Let me ask you this. How did you become a pie maker?
I've always been a pie maker. It's part of my makeup, but my ingredients.
Yeah, so you always knew that's what you wanted to be.
Always a pie maker.
You feel and you know something so strong, how could it not come true? Huh? Well, that's you, and then there's people like me, who felt something so strong, who knew something so well, believed in something so clearly, and it was not meant to be. There are people like that too, and it's one of life's cruelest jokes. Funny, but cruel.
You take a dark view of life.
Speaking what I know.
Well, darkness can be a nurturing time.
What?
Think about it. Think about the colt's foot. Unless a seed falls down, buried in black darkness underground, how can it grow into new life?
Listen, I shouldn't have said anything. I should let you be on your way. Thank you for the pie again. Please, if you see me around in your journeys, I need to be left alone. Thank you, and bye.
David gets up and waits for the pie maker to leave. Pie maker straightens up and rolls his table away.
Sure. I'll leave you to getting your mind off things.
David, who has turned away now, watches the pie maker roll his table away and exit. David looks at the colt's foot flower for a moment, and then mightily launches it off stage. Looking down, David slowly pulls a ring out of his pocket, opens it up, and looks at the ring. Decisively, he hurtles it out of sight. He watches after it, and then suddenly lurching forward, he hunches over holding his stomach. He twists and writhes in pain. He manages to pull out his phone, dials, and then collapses. The scene transitions to a hospital room. David crawls into the hospital bed and lays motionless. He sleeps. The pie maker is heard humming. The pie maker enters carrying his tiny wooden breakfast tray on which charming furnishings surrounding a fresh from the oven speckled pie. He scans the room and peers at David's medical charts.
This ought to wake you up.
Well, what's happening? Oh, it's you.
It's me. And after looking at your pie charts over there, I think this is just what the doctor ordered.
Well, it's a pie.
Well, I'm glad to see your powers of observation are still intact.
I don't think this is what the doctor would order for me at this point in time.
To be precise, this is a quiche. Potatoes, cabbage, onions, bangers. all baked together in a heavy cream egg base and poured in a golden short crust.
Why is it shaped in a heart?
It's called Keohane. I'm Irish.
Cute. Clever. I hate that.
That's not the only reason why it's shaped in a heart.
Are you about to profess your undying love for me?
It's because you have lost heart.
David remains quiet, staring at the quiche.
Try it. It's baked with love.
David picks up his fork, slowly slices into the quiche, and takes a bite. He starts to cry.
It tastes that good. I've done it again.
David continues with his head down, crying. Piemaker continues.
You know, David, hope is not really an answer. Not really. Hope is just supposed to point you to something that can carry you.
After what I've been put through, I can't. I won't trust anything to carry me.
Where are your friends, your family, to be here with you now?
It's not visiting hours.
Whoops.
I don't have anyone. I did once. That life's gone. It's no use in talking about past lives.
Past lives. I always thought that reincarnation was a far-fetched belief system. And you know what else is far-fetched? Imagining you are only going to take one bite of my quiche. Here.
No, you don't need to. I can.
Oh, no, here. Allow me. You're all packed in and propped up in bed in this hospital. You just lay back and be a patient. A patient.
You're a really good pie maker.
I think so. Of all the pies I've made for you, which one is your favorite?
This one.
My quiche! Oh, sheesh.
Well, quiche is my favorite breakfast food.
What are your other favorite things, Maria?
Stained glass. You know, I've always been into stained glass. I always meant to learn it, how to do it. But yeah, stained glass, windows, lamps. I love it all. Nature. I love nature. Specifically, high mountain trails where there's barely enough room to place, one foot in front of the other. Alpine trees dotting the mountainside, and wildflowers splashing the trail edges. Yep. Old scary Hollywood B movies.
Oh.
Licorice, red not black. And loyalty. Loyalty has always been a favorite virtue of mine.
It's a good one.
And so rare.
So, when are you busting out of here? I've got a getaway pie cart over here. You can put it in use.
You fold me into a giant pie crust. Prick some holes in the dough so I can breathe. Tell the nurses you got lost on the way to use the crematorium to bake your enormous pie.
The Adventures of Pie Man and Krusty.
So, this is my last stop. End of the road for me. I will be busting out. Except busting out of my hospital gown if you keep feeding me these pies.
You sure you don't want to leave? I mean, you're gonna get pretty bored just staying in this hospital bed for the rest of your life.
well, the rest of my life won't be too much longer.
Oh, who says?
Medical professionals?
What do they know?
Well, they know their Ivy League medical school training, and they know there's cancer in my pancreas, and they know, based on countless cancer studies and statistics, that I'll be dead in less than 3 months.
What do they know? Listen, I don't know that, but I know food, and I know when something's gone bad, and I know when something is still good. It's in the nose. You got a lot of shelf life left.
Even if by some miracle I live longer than 3 months, whoopee, I live on borrowed time, damaged goods, never knowing when that shelf life expires.
Yeah, but that's everybody. You'll be no different than anybody else.
How responsible is that? I mean, you can't plan a life that way. You can't be with someone that way.
People do it every day.
How responsible is that?
Well, you're being responsible to living your life.
Not everyone feels that way. Oh, past lives.
I see. Well, I guess you dodged a bullet. She didn't show evidence of your favorite virtue.
No, she was loyal. We agreed. Well, I decided I wouldn't let her marry a dying man.
How responsible of you.
Yeah, it was, all right. Any good, caring person would have done the same.
I see where you're going, and I see where you're coming from. Good, caring people would want to keep other people from suffering.
Yeah, and I'm not about to let someone I love waste their life on me.
That's a pretty big decision to make for someone else.
What? How dare you? How dare you? You can't just come in here at another person's lowest point in their life and start judging him and acting like you are above it all, knowing what's best for people. You don't know anything about my life or her life.
I know that wasn't meant for me.
Maybe it was. Maybe you're finally getting what's coming to you after inserting yourself in people's lives over and over again, showing up out of nowhere to give your personal commentary and shove pie down people's pie holes.
More quiche?
Yes, please. You can shove it in if you want. I deserve it.
I want you to enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, however long it ends up being, and however painful it ends up feeling. Even no one ever really knows.
I am. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my favorite quiche.
Made just for you.
It's so good I could quiche you.
You better save that for your lady friend. Try that Italian accent on her too.
That was Irish.
Okay.
What? You know, I will try it on her. And then we'll let her decide what it sounds like.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh. Yes, it does. I guess I'm planning.
A responsible person like you. Planning.
Breaking expectations.
Well, I should be on my way then. You've got things to plan for. But don't be surprised if you see my table again soon. I've got some other pie flavors baking you never knew you needed.
Roll your table in anytime, anywhere.
For me, no place is unreachable or off limits.
No such thing as pie privacy.
The Piemaker has a promise to deliver, no matter the depths or the distance.
Until then, my pie maker.
Piemaker smiles, turns, and walks away. David watches after him, then stops him.
Pie maker? And what happens if it's not a happy ending?
You probably noticed the coltsfoot flower there in that vase on your tray. Yet with your keen powers of observation and all. What's truly interesting about the coltsfoot makes it different from the dandelion, for example. The flowers shoot up, first in the early spring, before any leaves. Then those heart-shaped, hoof-shaped leaves the plant is named for. In fact, by the time the leaves are fully in sight and unfurled, those sunny flowers, they've disappeared. Those flowers crack through the winter ground first, heralding life. They continue to rejoice in their cheerful commission until their puffy white seedling pom-pom transfiguration. Then the wind came, carrying them up and away, leaving behind a beautiful green canopy of heart-shaped leaves. No matter what the ending feels like, life was lived and love was left behind.
And then?
Only good. The best of life.
Thank you.
The Piemaker smiles and then starts his humming. He turns away and makes his exit a drawn-out, jovial, jolly jig performance. David stares after him, then abruptly picks up his cell phone and dials.
Hi, it's me. Whatever I say next, please just listen and don't hang up. It's so good to hear your voice, I could kiss you. So, quick question.
End.
Thank you so much for coming today. Again, you are a very important part of this process, and yeah, it just means so much to me that you're here. Yeah, and that's pretty much what we're doing. That's pretty much the wrap.